The betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
On to race number 2 we go, which will be the start of the place accumulator, 1400 meters, the trip, a maiden plate for fillies and mares. And this contest, as I mentioned, gets the PA underway. Let's get into an interview that we've got with Nicolette Roscoe.
Yeah, in her last like 2 starts or so, she hasn't been trying. I mean, she canters next to him. As you come into the straight, she starts to pick it up. And when you think she's going to go through with it, she won't. And Craig said she's just not trying. So we decided to opt for the blinkers, see whether that will help her. I did work with her this morning because with the rain expected, I did some work with her this morning. She worked exceptionally well with the blinkers. If she can bring that work to the races, we should be in the quartets.
Yeah, that's horse number 7, an Air of Pride. Blinkers on, and maybe she could be a nice lurker that you want to include, especially if those blinkers have the desired effect. Craig Zaki aboard, and yeah, this horse, her second behind Approachable Lass was obviously a decent performance, and then she just hasn't really put it all together ever since then. And you heard from Nicolette Roscoe, Craig mentioned that she's definitely not put it in. So let's see if the blinkers work with this individual. Ferry Trip is your favorite at 18-10 in the market. Rani of Janzi is at around 7-2. She has found support, as she did on debut, until she drifted out like a barge on race time, and she ran accordingly, I would say, but she possibly needed the run. She's a well-bred daughter of Syngetrix, and she's a horse that does have a good draw. Gate number 2, Atandiwa Mkutwa aboard for Gareth Van Zyl. I think she can certainly build on a debut performance, and I do believe that the 1400 meter trip will be a lot more to her liking than 1200 meters. So she's got to have her supporters. Q the Rebel has won from that form line. There's been quite a few placings from that form line as well. So it's sort of holding up. And I think that she's a filly that we can follow, as there is quite a bit of improvement still to come. Ferry Trip pulled out that last form line behind Stealth Attack, and it's absolutely dead. I mean, there's been 21 runners from that form line, and nothing sort of stands out from that piece of form. So whether you are going to be willing to take 18-10 about a runner that returns off a 3-month layoff, comes from a form line that has not worked out at all, second behind Stealth Attack, who had a fair share of chances, to be quite honest with you. I think it was around 10 or 12 starts that Stealth Attack had before she finally got it right. So yeah, it doesn't give me too much of confidence with regards to the chances of number 4 Ferry Trip, but she could obviously get it right if she's fit enough to do herself justice. Piece by piece, she comes from that same form line behind Rani of Janzi. She ran 4th behind Pretty Anelia, slightly ahead of horse number 2, and she's been priced up at around 7-1 in the market. So she could obviously get involved. She's another runner that did run behind Stealth Attack, like Ferry Trip and number 7, an Air of Pride. And then once you look past those runners, it's not the greatest of contests. You've got When Evening Comes, who's never too far off the action. She puts in a decent effort, but is it going to be good enough to win? So it's quite a tricky race that gets the place accumulators going. When you turn over the page, you have horse number 11, Foreign Lady, who has had 5 starts on the turf, and she's never really shone on it. So maybe she's a horse that is a lot better on the poly track. So it is quite a trappy contest. Ferry Trip, I think 18-10 is too short in the market. I would include number 2, Rani of Janzi. Number 6, Piece by Piece, although she's held on that Stealth Attack form line, I think her last start was a fair effort, and she could possibly be looking for 1400 meters now, so she could be worth an inclusion. And then number 7, an Air of Pride, if the blinkers do the trick, then she could obviously be a horse that you have to include into the mix. But Ferry Trip, it's all up to you if you are going to be willing to take your chances. Banker this one in the PA, if not the bar pot. I'm looking for a bit of cover. I'm definitely going to include Ferry Trip along with numbers 2, 6 and 7 in the PA and bar pot. And I think you could be in for just about any kind of result in this contest, as it isn't a race that sort of where the form stands up. So I think Race 2, look for a bit of horses, look for some cover, and you could just get a decent result in the start of the PA and in the second leg of the bipot.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.